Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
afternoon from
Hello.
Brazil.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good, good. I'm so excited to see your guys' presentation.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I
excellent.
hear you've been hard at work. Yeah,
Yes, working hard on the presentations. Yes.
nice.
So nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming. It's
Yeah, no problem.
a special occasion for us. It's talking to a scientist. And would you like to introduce yourself a little bit first?
Sure. My name is Dr. Thea Bechshoft. I am joining you from Denmark in Scandinavia, so quite far away. We don't have any polar bears here. We're too far south. But I have been working with polar bears all around the Arctic for the past 16 years or something like this, in all kinds of different areas, all kinds of different research. And now I work for Polar Bears International, which is an NGO based in the US, but we work all over the Arctic. And I do research for Polar Bears International, but I also do a lot of what we're doing right now, which is outreach and just talking about polar bears.
Ah, how nice. So we have a lot in common.
Hmm.
Yes, because I don't work or study polar bears, but I also study and try to help animals that are difficult to find. Good,
Hmm.
good students. Yes, interested and engaged students and
I'm
clients.
sure you found some here. I see you
Yes, I
guys
found
looking
some.
awake.
Yes. They are
Yeah.
going in extinction, but they are here. Some of them
Hmm. Good.
are here.
Good.
I like them
Excellent.
very much. Very
Yeah.
nice. Excellent. Thank you very much. So, how long have you been working with this polar
With
bear?
Polar Bears International, well, I was volunteering for them since 2013, and then
Very
I transferred into an actual job with them in actually 2 years ago, almost to the day. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Very
So it's been
nice.
quite a while.
Quite a
Quite a while.
while, a lot of
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Excellent. Very
We're a
good.
small team, but we do a lot of research and have much more influence than you would think. It's
Oh,
because we have a lot of researchers in the NGO more than what is usual. So,
how nice.
mhm,
Very
yeah.
good. So our project was based
Mhm,
on a unit of our book called Smart Planet, and then the students researched some ways of helping the environment and trying to reduce the footprint. But of
mhm.
course, we would love to hear your feedback. So after each presentation, you can give a short feedback and give your opinions. Okay, don't worry. You can't hurt our feelings, no matter what you say.
That's good. Mhm.
Don't worry. So let's start with Isabella. Isabella is going to be the first to present. Go ahead, Isabella, please
So,
introduce yourself.
hello. My name is
Hey.
Abella. I'm 14 years old, and today I'm going to talk about the impact of the trash in the nature. So, let's go. Mm. The humans produce a lot of trash daily. In Brazil, for example, in one day we produce about 64 million tons of waste. So, it's a lot. The problem is that the people throw away cans, plastic bottles, plastic bags into the rivers, forests, and even the sea. This trash really affects the environment and the nature and the animals, killing a lot of species and animals. In São Paulo, 1,000 of turtles die every year because they eat waste. These animals think that waste is food, so some these die because they eat straws and plastic bags. So it's a very bad situation, and we need to change it because the planet probably will be a very bad place to live, and more animals will die So we need to change. For example, 2.2 billion tons of waste every year we discard it in the planet. So it's a lot. So how you can change it? We can help NGOs, that are organization of people who protect and clean the nature, the oceans, the lakes. In Brazil, Tamar Project is very famous. They are organization of people who protect, rescue, and take care of turtles from Brazilian coast. They also made a lot of research with these animals. It's a very beautiful work. We can see this work. We can visit the place where they take care of the turtles, and we need to support and keep these organizations alive. Use eco-friendly things. That's a lot of shops and companies selling clothes, shoes, and appliances that don't damage the nature. Ecoconsumo is one of these companies. Is a marketplace company that has a lot of products and brands totally sustainable. And besides be sustainable, they are also beautiful, and it's a very good option. And finally, don't throw away waste. It's very important to remember it never goes away. So if you throw away a can on a plastic bag, it will be on the oceans and more animals will die. And it's very important to separate your garbage in paper, glass, metal, and plastic and organic things. And that's it. It's important to always be aware about the problems in our planet and try to keep the environment and the animals alive, because we can't live without them.
Very good, Isabella. Excellent job. Congratulations. Beautiful presentation. So, Dr. Bechshoft, is that right?
Yeah, just call me Tia. But
Yeah.
yes, that was beautiful. That was excellent. I mean, I don't like seeing the pictures of the animals and the trash, but none of us do. So, first of all, I just want to say this, you had the example of the trash bags that the turtles and the straws and stuff that they see as food. Just for polar bears, we also see that they eat trash all the time. Yeah. Like some dead polar bears in Svalbard, a place in the Arctic, they've been found with plastic, but also with barbed wire in their stomach. I can't imagine how hungry you have to be to eat barbed wire, but
Yeah, let
yeah.
me tell them what is that. Barbed wire, cerca, arame farpado. Arame farpado,
Mm,
em
yeah.
português.
Yeah. So also, I loved your point of how important it is to help the NGOs to make sure that these organizations are still here. But I want to say that there is something that's even more important than that, and that is to make it easier for people to actually live sustainably. Because if you can make living sustainably the easy choice, then we wouldn't even need the NGOs anymore. Yeah. So if we could change the laws, for example, with the plastic bags, that a lot of stores, I don't know if this is the case in Brazil, but they give free plastic bags when you shop. Yeah.
Yes,
So
most
if
of them do that here. Mhm.
mhm. So if you can change the law so that they don't give free plastic bags anymore, you have a lot less plastic bags in nature. Yeah. So having NGOs and people who work to protect the environment is really good, like you point out. But if we can change the laws and make it so that that's the easy choice, it's even better. Yeah. But
Ah,
great
Okay,
presentation. Yeah.
thank you.
excellent.
Mhm.
Is there an example of community-focused change you mentioned?
Oh, there are many different. Like I know in the UK, for example, I think they don't do the plastic bags anymore. Or if you want the plastic bags, you have to pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do it here in Denmark either, but I don't think we ever did. Yeah. So
Okay,
just in
that's
regards
an
to that.
example. Okay,
Mhm.
very nice, amazing. Okay, you're going to be able to give more examples of that community-focused
I'll
changes in
try.
the
I'll
next
try. Yeah.
presentations. Very nice. Thank
Maybe you guys are going to talk about something that I don't even know anything about. Yeah.
you. Yes,
Who knows? Yeah.
hardly, but let's see.
You never know. I know a lot about polar bears, but there are many other things I don't know.
Okay. Bruno, would you like to be the next one?
Yes. Um, 1 minute. Yes. Hi, my name is Bruno. I'm 12 years old, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 R's. Currently, the world's very polluted, and this is bad for the environment. Thinking about it, I decided to talk about the 5 R's today. The 5 R's mean rethinking, refusing, reducing, reusing, and recycling. They are very important not only for the environment, but also to stopping a consumer. First, I will talk about the habit of rethinking. The habit of rethinking is when you think carefully before buying a product. If it's worth buying, what is it for, the way you dispose of the garbage, whether it's correct or not, if it's buying only what you need. One example is that you want the last generation cell phone. Since you already have one that works perfectly, so you think that I really need another cell phone. Another example that also happens a lot are the shoes. You don't need to buy a shoe that's in fashion. If you have one still fits comfortable, stay with it. The second is to refuse. To refuse is when you have to refuse to buy products and foods that harm health and the environment. To refuse is also to deny advertisement that got your attention and keep attracting you until you buy. One example was the Black Friday, that they say they cut the price and make everyone buy a lot of things. Now, I'm going to talk about reducing. Reducing and decreasing the amount of purchase, and this make you stop accumulating things. If you use you will use a few times and be saved and forgotten. Reducing is the practice of the habit rethinking. Tips: not buy disposable cups, plates, and straws. Like buy a glass cups which can be recycled, glass or ceramic plates, and metal straws. For habit is to reuse. To reuse is to use the same item already used without having any drastic change in it. Such a turn of condensed milk in a pencil holder. One detail is many people confuse reusing with recycling, and we will see this difference now. Fifth and the last item, recycling. Recycling is making a certain item with the remains of the others so that it can be processed and transformed into a new product. There are 5 recycling bins. The metal one, which is yellow, plastic, which is red, paper, which is blue, glass, which is green, and organic, which is brown. Um, Thank you. And want to tell you, we must then take care of our planet because it only depends on us. That's it.
Excellent.
Very good, Bruno. Congratulations. Excellent job. So,
Nice.
Tia,
Yeah. No,
feedback.
I love that. The 5 R's is it's really like it's very simple, really, isn't
Mhm.
it? But it's something that's so easy to forget. And I think it's a really good idea to talk about it a little bit more, like you did here. Um, what I was thinking about when you're talking is that when you're talking about consumerism and how much we buy of new stuff all the time, uh, one of the things that you guys can also do is you are a consumer, right? You have money that you spend. And as soon as you have money that you spend, the companies, they want your money. Yeah. So the things that you are asking for, they want to give you that because that means you'll buy their stuff, right? So if you choose to spend your money on the greener companies, on the more sustainable companies, then those are the companies that will grow, right? That will have success. So you can, we call it, you can vote with your money. Yeah. So you decide who you give your money to, and you can choose to give your money to the green companies. There is also actually one example. You were talking about the cell phones. You know how if you guys have an iPhone, that after a few years, it's like it gets slower and slower and really annoying? That is something that they have built in. So Apple has built that into the phone. And also that the battery gets worse and worse and worse. That's not something that's inevitable. This can be easily programmed. Yeah. So there's actually a lawsuit right now to have Apple not do this anymore so that you can keep your phone for longer and it still works. Yeah. So just another example. Oh, and sorry, last thing that your talk, the final R, or not final, but the reusing. I was just thinking, I don't know if you guys have it in Sao Paulo, but you know there are repair cafes or repair shops. Have you guys heard of this? It's like it's a community-based thing, a place where you can go with your phone, your bike, your iron, your anything really, your microwave, yeah? And then there are people who work there who will help you repair it. Because even if you can't do it yourself, like I don't know how to fix stuff like that, someone else does. And then they can help you repair your things and you don't have to buy it a new one.
Anyone?
But
Wow.
excellent presentation. Love the 5 Rs.
Very good. Excellent,
Thank you.
Bruno. We do have some repair shops around here. It was more popular about 15 years ago. From
Okay.
from
Yeah.
2005 to 2010, I think
hmm
new stuff got more popular.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. I love doing stuff like that. And it depends on which country you're in, but you could just start one.
Yes, good
Yeah.
idea. Good idea. And I saw, okay, but we are going to talk about that later, that some students can be leaders of Polar Bear International
hmm
or
hmm
something like that. Very good. Now let's listen to Paola's presentation. Paola, you can share your screen, please.
Okay. So,
Great.
hi, my name is Paola. I am from Global English School, and I'm gonna talk about sustainable additives. There are more than 76 tons of garbage per year here in Brazil, and just 3% are recycled. Um, One of the main measures to reduce the environmental degradation is to recycle the trash that we generate daily. Organic material can be used in the composting process too. Reduce the use of packages. Packages taken to the dump takes more than 400 years to degrade and is one of the biggest cause of pollution. Decorate your houses with used objects and natural material. Take advantage of old objects and antique furniture from family. In addition to the beauty and of the natural rear pies, it's possible to give new uses to these objects, creating personalized environments. Use natural material to also contribute to the environment as they are biodegradable. Have more plants at home. At home or an apartment, plants can help to control the local weather, making the temperature more pleasant. With this, you reduce the need to use the cooling, artificial cooling in the heat.
Collaborate with these, you reduce the no, you improve the air quality through the photosynthesis. Sustainable attitudes like this, when adopted in the daily life of country homes, are capable of making a big difference in the health of the planet. Make sure that you're following these tips and collaborating to preserve the environment and improve the quality of the life. That's it. Thank you.
Very good, Paula. Thank you very much. Excellent.
That was beautiful presentation. Nice pictures too. Yeah, I agree with you completely. And also, just as you were talking, I'm looking at all my plants here. Yeah. So two things here that your talk inspired me to. One is, again, you were talking about the different materials that we use and how little of it is recycled, right? And especially, again, if we talk about, for example, plastic. If we could just make it so with the laws, with the regulations, that our leaders would, make a law that says you cannot produce plastic bags unless they're what we call biodegradable, unless they easily are broken down in the environment, right? If you could only get biodegradable plastics, that would be the only choice. And that already would make it so much better for the planet, right? For us and for every other species out there. But you were also talking about the temperature at home, correct? Yeah. So one of the things we actually have at Polar Bears International is called, the thermostat challenge. And that's about finding out what kind of energy is used to heat or cool your school, your home. Um, and then you can take our thermostat challenge where, you can compete in a friendly way with another house or another school to see who can save more energy. So it's about, not necessarily cooling the home quite so much and not necessarily heating your home quite so much as maybe you used to do, right? Put on an extra sweater or drink some more water or something instead so we can save a little bit of energy that way.
Excellent idea. So this is a challenge we can even implement in our school, maybe? Ah, how nice. Excellent.
It's just one of many different ideas. Yeah.
Yes, I'll check that out. Very good. So now we have Laís. Laís, are you going to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Laís. I'm 12 years old and I'm going to talk about the impact of the clothes in the environment. Many clothes have animal skins and that's a big problem. Many famous brands used animal skins in several of their pieces. For example, Versace, Michael Kors, Gucci, and Tommy Hilfiger. To To end the use of animal skins in clothing and accessories, a law could be created to prohibit the use of animal skins in clothing worldwide. In addition to the clothes that use animal skins damage the environment a lot. Synthetic fabrics harm the environment during its development process. When the synthetic fabrics are washed, they release small microfibers that end up contaminating the plankton that serves as food for aquatic animals, and thus contaminating many other animals. Bamboo derived fabrics are great for the environment. These fabrics are derived from organic bamboo viscose, thus not harming the nature. In my opinion, to solve this problem, allow In my opinion, to solve this problem, the production of plant-derived tissues should be encouraged, that way helping the nature. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Laís. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting, yeah? Huh. See, I knew you guys were going to talk about some things that I don't usually talk about in my everyday life. Yeah? That's awesome. Um, so the microfibers, absolutely. And that also ties in with, was it Isabella? Let's see. Yes, you also talked about the plastics, right? The microplastics. That's a problem for all species, including humans, including polar bears, including everything else that you can think about, right? These tiny plastic particles that we can't even see with the naked eye, but they are everywhere. Yeah. So I also wanted to just comment on a thing that about using animal skins or animal fur. I agree with you. If it's just for decoration, then you don't really need it. Yeah. Then you can easily use bamboo or uh, what is it that people use? There's a kind of leather that can be made from mushrooms, uh, things like this. Yeah, which is just amazing. But I do want to point out that if you go to the Arctic, it can get very cold in the Arctic. There is nothing else that can keep you warm in the same way. For example, around, the big jackets that people often use, there is the fur around the face. There is nothing else that can keep you warm in the same way as this fur. There are several different research projects that have been done on it. And if you have a synthetic fur instead, it's just not the same. So really, if if we're talking about decoration, yes, I absolutely agree with you. If we're talking about staying warm and surviving in the high Arctic, maybe also Antarctic, I don't know, then there may actually be a reason to use fur. But
Yeah.
of course, if you use fur, you should always make sure that it's from animals who've had a good life and that it's sustainable so that you're not, eradicating a species just because you like the fur.
That's a very nice
Mm,
point. See, something that I and all the students learned today. Very nice.
mhm.
So, technology from nature then is the best one so far. Very nice.
At least for keeping warm. Yes,
Yes, yes,
absolutely.
and for many other things. Yeah. But that's
Hmm.
one
Oh yeah,
example. Very
yeah.
nice. Amazing. Okay.
Also, can I just add,
Sure.
the English that you guys have is so good. I am very impressed.
Wow. That goes to the
Yeah.
heart, huh?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Just
Thank you.
saying. Yeah.
Yes, it's important
Hmm.
for them. They are practicing their English very hard.
Hmm.
Yes, thank you
Yep.
very much. Now let's go to Leo's presentation. I'm going to share the screen now. Leo,
Hello.
go ahead.
Right.
Okay. Hello. My name is Leo, and I'm 13 years old. I would like to talk about energy. Can you pass, please?
Yes.
Can you pass, please? Ah, thanks. So, what's energy? According to Portuguese dictionary, energy is the activity of a body, a substance or physical system to perform a job. We can say energy is responsible a science development of great scientific discoveries of improving quality and the quantity of life, and of technology advance by internet. We can access all kind of important information. We can pass, please. Well, the examples of energy are lightning, internet, talk to other people, and other examples. Uh, can you pass, please? The types of energy are water, rain, sun, geothermal, and winds. They are good points. but have bad points too. Can you pass, please? The bad points are waste of water, deforestation, construction of hydroelectric. Can you pass, please? Conclusion. Energy is a good thing, and we have showed the conscious meaning. And that's it.
Very good.
In the end.
I was scared now. What's happening? Oh my God.
Oh, nice. Very dramatic ending. Very nice. Yeah.
Thanks, thanks.
Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of good things to be said for energy. Maybe you guys talked about the industrial revolution, where all of a sudden we had all these kinds of energy, mostly from fuel and coal, and later on also natural gas. And they've brought so many brilliant things with them, right? If we didn't have that, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. Yeah, this is
Yes.
where it all started. But I agree with you. There are definite downsides to it too. Climate change, for example, and deforestation, which I'm guessing is something that you guys especially are talking about a lot.
Mhm.
Yes.
But this is why we have the renewable resources. And that's why we need to have the leaders that understand that using renewable resources is the smart thing to do, right? Because if something is
Yes.
renewable, then you can just continue to use it and everything is good. So we
Yes,
have, I
of
think
course.
you had the windmills, which we have a lot of windmills here in Denmark, like the ones in your picture,
Yeah.
the first picture.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have the solar power.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's bigger with you guys than it is here.
Oh, yes, you have
And
less
yeah,
sunlight there, right?
yeah, we do. So at least it would make more sense to have it with you guys.
Yes.
But there's another kind of energy also called wave energy. With the ocean, with the waves, that you can
Yes.
have little pontoons on that. And then the waves come in and the pontoons go up and down. And when they do that, they also collect energy. And this is something that a lot of people are looking into. And Denmark is a tiny country surrounded by water. And so we have a lot of research into that here too. So yeah, good presentation. Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
nice. Very good. That wave energy is very interesting. Excellent. Now, let's see the last presentation. Marina. Marina.
So, hello, my name is Marina. I'm 13 years old, and I will be talking about how we can recycle food. What can we do to recycle food? Can you pass, teacher? And composting is a technique of manufacturing organic and fertilizant, ecologic and correct in totally correctly and economical. Can you pass, teacher? Recycle food, trash eggs, carrots, bananas peels, apples peels, etc. can be reused as fertilizant for plants. The peels of some fruits and vegetables like beans, red onions, peels, etc. It can be reused to dye and painting clothes or makes art. Can you pass, teacher? We usually spend a lot of food during it is this death, but we can take the opportunity to to avoid worse. Tips of reusing no
Tips of recent food and avoiding waste. And beans with the rest of meats, pastels, etc., which could milk. It's possible to make yogurt and even milk sweet. So we used some foods to make new dishes. Can you pass, teacher? How do you use your food? That's it.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Marina. That's something I had never thought about. Very good.
This is actually, I love doing this. So for me, I don't know if you guys help cook the food at home.
Good question. Let's vote. Let's see how many people help cooking at home. Do you help your parents cook or do you cook yourselves?
Sometimes, teacher.
Sometimes. Okay. 4 out of
Not too
6.
bad.
Oh, I, I
Okay, 4.5 out of 6. Okay.
yeah.
That's pretty good. It's a very good skill to have. Once you move away from home, it's excellent to be able to have, to cook some of your own food. But also for me, like, I agree with you. You said that you could reduce the food waste by making new dishes. Yeah. So you take all your leftovers, and then it's this creative process where you just have to look at what you have in the fridge, what you have on the shelf, and then go, and come up with something new. And I don't know if you like drawing or singing or making sculptures out of clay or something else that's artistic. I find that this is artistic in the same way. Yeah, it's a skill that you can train, and for me at least, it's a fun way to make food. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So everyone may not feel that way, but that's how I feel about it. Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree with you. Reducing food waste and reusing what we have is brilliant. You can actually also, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but you can use a lot of the vegetable scraps. So a lot of the vegetable parts that you usually cut away and you don't use, you can regrow those. Like
Mm.
if you have cabbage or if you have tomatoes or carrots or whatever, you can Google regrow vegetables, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Especially if you like plants, like we were talking about before, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, do you still have a few minutes to answer some
Sure, sure, sure,
questions?
sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Who would like to ask the first question? Now, a little more related to polar bears. Let's see.
I,
Leo, please.
uh, can polar bears live in hot places? Places?
Can polar bears live in,
Hot places. Hot.
in hot places? Well, okay, so before I get to that, I just want to say thank you so much for all these presentations and for taking the time to do them and to show them to me, because I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So thank you for putting all of your time into that. Yeah.
Thank you for
Polar bear.
listening, humbly
Oh yeah.
listening
Hey.
for our.
Yes, of
Ah,
course.
it's a pleasure. So polar bears polar bears are only found in the high Arctic, right?
Mm.
In Greenland, in Canada, in the US, in Alaska only, but in the US,
Mm-hmm.
along the coastline of Russia, and then in this little group of islands called Spitsbergen or Svalbard, which is a part of Norway, but it's far away from mainland Norway. And it's quite cold in all of those places most of the year. There are polar bears in zoos in warm countries. So in Australia, for example, there is at least one polar bear that I know of in a zoo there.
Ah,
And it seems to be okay if you give it the right conditions. So if they have a pool of water that they can jump into and cool off in, And sometimes, and they also have a place with shade so they can get out of the sun. And then a lot of zoos also give their polar bears like crushed ice sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if it's for fun or if it's for comfort, but the polar bears seem to like it. So you can have polar bears in warmer climates, but I don't think they would choose to be there themselves if they had a choice, right?
Mm,
Okay.
very
Mhm.
nice. Excellent answer. Thank you, Leo. Good question. Very good. So who wants to be the next question? Bruno?
Yes. What the coldest temperature that polar bears withstand, and what's the holds that
Hottest. Mhm.
The hottest.
hottest?
So, well, the hottest, I don't know how hot it gets in Australia, but probably pretty hot. Yeah. The coldest in the Arctic, I mean, I experienced minus 60
Oh my
degrees
God.
Celsius, but that's Celsius, right?
Yes.
Do you guys go by Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius. Celsius. Yeah.
Celsius. Okay, so minus 60. But that was because it was cold and then there was a strong, strong wind blowing also. Yeah. But polar bears are awesome. Like polar bears are so well adapted to living in the high Arctic and to dealing with the cold that they usually just lie down, kind of like your dog that walks around itself before it lies down. It's not quite like that, but almost. They dig a little bed in the snow and they lie down and they sleep until this horrible weather is over and it's calm again, and then they get up and they get out and look for seals. Mhm.
Oh, basically as cold as it can get.
Yes, yes.
Very
I
nice.
think otherwise polar bears wouldn't be living in the high Arctic, right?
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah.
Actually,
And
we
the
talked to a scientist that went there.
Mhm.
She is this cryo. Uh,
Oh, yeah, she works with the ice
yes,
cores.
because of the
Hmm.
ice. Yeah, she.
Yeah.
What's her name? Mm, do you remember, guys? We talked to her in June.
What country was she from?
Caroline Aubrey Wake. Mhm.
Hmm.
So she's a
Okay.
very. She
I
she
forgot.
showed us some
Oh my
pictures.
god. I
Yeah,
forgot.
Caroline
Ah,
Aubrey Wake. She showed
Yeah.
I
pictures
don't know.
of the
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
solar eclipse in Svalbard.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, no, the sea ice, or not the sea ice, the ice cores are amazing. I don't know if she told you this, but on the ice sheet in Greenland, in the very middle, they're drilling this ice core. And they have a camp up there where people live while they're drilling this ice core. And there was actually a polar bear there. Actually, there's been two polar bears there
Ah,
within the past couple of years. And they were so surprised. They never expected to see polar bears on the inland ice, like in the middle of
in the middle.
Greenland.
Mhm.
Yeah. So everyone just had to go inside and wait until the bear
Oh,
left
I thought they
because they
became
didn't,
friends.
no, they didn't bring anything. Yeah. Now they do, but they didn't do that before.
Okay, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Paola, do you have the next question?
Yes. What was the most exciting event that you've ever seen in your work?
Hmm. That's a really good question. You mean what was the most exciting polar bear encounter?
Like
Hmm.
event? Yes, any event.
Yeah. Well, but events can be many things,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many to choose from. Hmm. I don't. Well, I mean, once I was in a Zodiac, like a rubber boat, and we were in Svalbard in front of a glacier. And I was with a bunch of tourists because I was guiding tourists and telling them all about polar bears. And we were looking at this glacier front. It was beautiful, and everyone was so, focused on this. And all of a sudden, one of the tourists was like pointing right there and going, "Oh, is that a polar bear?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. We should leave." Yeah. Oh, so this is actually a very important point. if you ever go to the high Arctic, make sure to always keep a lookout for polar bears. Yeah. Now, we were not in any danger, not any immediate danger, because polar bears are really good at swimming. They lie very low in the water. Yeah. So, oops, here's a polar bear. So a
Ooh.
polar bear, basically, all you can see is the ears and the eyes because the water will be like right here. Yeah. If it's in the water swimming. Yeah, anyway, they are very good at swimming, but they're not very good at jumping up from the water into a boat. So
Uh,
that was pretty good. But there are many different instances. But yeah, I've never been in any real danger with polar bears because I usually keep a lookout, and I'm usually with people who keep a lookout. And I know some people have like really cool stories about how they were almost eaten. But all that means is they did not keep a lookout.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's true.
So yeah. So it's good to do. Now, polar bears, they're not especially mean. They're not especially, I mean, it's a predator. Yeah. So they eat meat. Actually, they prefer fat, to eat fat from the seals. But the problem is that if you get close to a polar bear, we are very soft and squishy humans, right? And polar bears are very pointy. They're very big and they're very pointy. So I have this one. So this is a polar bear claw. I don't know if you
Oh
can see it. It's
my
about,
God.
let's see, it's about the size of my thumb, right? But you see, it's very short and it's very sharp. Yeah. So this is because polar bears, the only thing that they can find to eat in the Arctic that has enough energy to keep a polar bear round and fat and healthy is seals, and especially seal fat. So the bears will grab the seals. The polar bears have to hunt them from the sea ice because they're not fast enough in the water to catch the seals in the water. But they can grab the seals when they're on the sea ice, and they use these very sharp claws to dig into them and drag them onto the sea ice. And then it's
These are
dinner time.
dangerous.
Yes. Yes, they are. They are. Polar
Very.
bears are not afraid of many things. I'm just going to show you something else. To this one. Yeah. You see it? This is a polar bear skull. And this one is enormous. Yeah. This is a replica, so it's not a real skull. But I mean, it looks the same way. It's very big, but also, if you look at the teeth here, and you imagine you're a seal, right? Very big, very pointy. You don't really want to get close to that.
Oh, do that again. Let me take a picture. That's a nice picture.
This. We can do it there.
You are the poor seal. Okay.
I know. I'm smiling too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
got
real
it.
seal would not be doing that. But yeah, so, and also, one last thing before we go on with more questions. You see that they have a very long skull. Yeah. So it's a big head, but it's also a very long head that they have. And that's because one of the ways that they catch the seals on the sea ice is at the seals' breathing holes. So seals are mammals just like you and me, and they have to come up for air, right? And they have what we call breathing holes in the sea ice, just holes about this size where they come up for air every now and then. So the polar bear will be there and wait and wait and wait until the seal comes up. And then with that long, skinny head, it can just go right into that breathing hole and take the seal out.
Yeah. And we played some Kahoot games about polar bears.
Oh,
And it
nice.
seems that, yeah,
So,
it seems, yes, Leo was not the champion. Leo Paola was the champion. Yeah. But
Nice.
we saw a question that they were found like 1 kilometer from the ice field, so they can swim very far from the ice.
Oh, polar bears can swim like hundreds of kilometers,
Oh, see.
but only if they're healthy. So that means if they're fat enough, if they have enough energy, and only if there's a good reason. Like they won't just jump into the water and just, it's not for fun. It's to
Mhm.
get somewhere where there's food or safety or a mate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. So,
Mhm.
Marina, you had a good question about the igloo.
Yes. Have you ever been in an igloo and it's comfortable?
So I have only, modern day Inuits, they don't really use igloos anymore unless they get stuck out on the land. So when they're out, hunting, for example, if all of a sudden there's a snowstorm, they can build an igloo and stay there for the night. But otherwise, they prefer to be home, with their TV and their fast food and whatnot, like you guys. So I've only been in like pretend igloos or whatever you want to call it, like snow caves. It was comfortable, yeah. Also, you know what? It's not an igloo, but polar bears also do make these snow dens, right? Do you have you guys seen them? Yeah. They're not, it's only the adult females, the pregnant adult females, they go into this snow den in the fall and then they give birth to their cubs in there. So it's the mom and her babies, and they're in there for like 3 months because when a polar bear is born, it's about the size of my hand. So they are tiny, very tiny, and they're not able to survive in the Arctic environment. So they have to be in this snow den with their mom first. So, so they can grow bigger, put on a little bit of weight, and then she can take them out with her and go looking for seals.
Very nice. How do you spell them? D-A-M?
Den.
D-E-M.
N as in Nina.
Okay. Okay. That's why I'm not
Mhm.
finding. Let me
Yeah.
show. I didn't know this word.
Hmm.
Very nice. See, this is like a snow den.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Nice.
It is. So this picture that you're showing right here, the mom is there in the middle, and then her cubs. Usually they have one or two cubs, not three, but she will be together with her cub in one little room, one chamber, as they call it
Okay.
here. And then it's only sometimes when the cubs get a little bit older and they start moving around and probably being really annoying, then they'll have a second chamber, a second room, like for the kids to go into. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you, Marina. Excellent question. Isabella or Lais? Then we have only two more questions to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
Just a second. Leo, Lais, you can go first, please.
And you always wanted to work with it?
Did I always want to work with polar bears?
Yes.
No, not really. I knew that I wanted to become someone who works with animals. Yeah. I didn't know which animals, and I thought maybe I wanted to be a veterinarian. But then I realized if you're a biologist, you have so many choices. Yeah. So I went to the university and I became a biologist. And then I met different professors that inspired me along the way. And one of them inspired me to go to the Arctic to study for a year and a half. And then I met my first polar bear, and I met a professor who needed someone to look at polar bears. And so one thing just led to another. And I love being in the cold. And obviously, I love working with polar bears. But yeah, it's all about, what kind of things you're passionate about, what who you meet along the way, and what you're able to say yes to, right? So I was able to say yes to live in the high Arctic for a year and a half and study there. Not everyone can do that. So I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And then, yeah, here I am. But no, it was never a plan from the beginning. It just happened little by little.
Oh,
And I'm
nice.
not sad that it did. I'm quite happy about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very happy. And where are you from originally?
I am Danish. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I lived in many different places around the world. But I came back to Denmark three 3 years ago. Mhm.
Okay, very
And
nice.
my mom is very happy about that.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Isabella, do you
Yeah.
have a question, Isabella?
Yes. What's the most difficult part of your work?
The most difficult, that's a really good question. I mean, they all are, but I like that one because it's a hard question. Yeah. Partly, one of the hardest things is that often I'm away from home for a long period of time. Yeah. So it's not unusual for me to be away for a month at a time or even more. Yeah. So that can be hard. And then also, of course, climate change. Yeah. And everything that has to do with that. Because, I've seen polar bears that were not doing well. I've been working with polar bears long enough that I see a difference in the sea ice. And, I have a lot of hope. I have no doubt that we can turn things around. We can fix climate change. We can make everything good. We can keep polar bears and the sea ice and everything for as long as we wish. Um, if we just have the right people in government. Yeah. And it can be frustrating or sad or, all of these things to see when that's not happening because it's so easy. Yeah. But it just takes time.
The
I mean, we
choice.
see that things are turning around now, right? So things are definitely getting better. And yeah, but it just takes time. So it can be frustrating. Um, yeah, I think those are the two hardest things. Being out, some people think that it's being out in the middle of nowhere, or because it's cold, or because you have to keep an eye out for polar bears, or because you eat a lot of really not very interesting food when you're in the high Arctic. But it's not all of those things because I love those things. Um, so
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
adventure.
Hmm.
That's the
It
good one.
is. It really is. It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
So, yeah, I think that was about it. Now, I want to ask, have you guys been to our webpage? Have you had a look at it?
We did. We have been in class, and I don't know
Hmm.
if you went back to that page at home. Did you guys? But
No,
we did.
yeah, okay. I just want to say that if you know what? Hang on. Now it's my turn to look a little confused as I share my screen. How
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
go ahead.
No, I just want to say, so are you seeing Polar Bears International right now?
Uh-huh. Yes, help
Excellent.
ensure the future.
So there are so many different things here that you can, I mean, if you want to know about polar bears, just journey around here. And there are a lot of really good stories, a lot of beautiful pictures, all of this.
Oh, congratulations on your Facebook page too. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Questions about polar bears. We have.
Yeah. Yeah, I started that one when I first started volunteering for Polar Bears International. But the thing I wanted to show you right here is up here, get involved.
Uh-huh.
If you click that one,
I think that's where I saw the different roles we can take. Oh, that's
exactly.
wonderful.
Where do you fit in? So there are different things here that you can go into, depending on who you are, where you work, how old you are, all of these things. So for most of you guys, it's the student. Um, yeah, and here you have the different community action toolkits. So here's the thermostat challenge, for example. So if you wanted to do that, you could go in here for inspiration, but there's a ton of other things too. Yeah. So it's just to show you that real quick.
How nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can implement some of them in the
Hmm.
school and
There's a lot of materials for teachers also in there. If you click on the teacher one, you'll see, yeah, like there are presentations, there's everything.
Amazing. Very nice.
Yeah.
So we have
All
already
right.
taken up 1 hour of your time. I'm sorry for taking longer than
No
expected.
worries. It's because I talk a lot.
No,
You know, I get to talk
we do
about
the
polar
same.
bears. I get to hear your presentations, and it's just great.
Yes, yes, it was too
Yeah.
much because of of all the presentations, but it was nice because the students could also speak and
Hmm.
practice
Yeah.
and
No,
get
I mean, this
involved.
is why you go to this school, right?
Yeah, get
Hmm.
involved into
Yeah,
those topics. So let's take a
exactly.
picture, a class picture. Bruno, look to the camera. You're not looking to the camera. Marina, too. Yes, Marina. Okay, Laís, look to the camera. Leo is beautiful. Okay. Bruno, I can't see your hair. Oh, yeah, yeah. Your beautiful hair. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Marina, to the camera, Marina. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Excellent.
All
Thank
right.
you very much, Thea Bechshoft. It was an amazing session.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Loved
And
it.
thank you for your all your presentations. And also have a really nice day.
Yeah,
It's
you too.
8 at night here, so
Have
I'm
a
going
really
to
good
not
night.
work anymore. Yeah. All right. Take care. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you later.
Bye.